One's always it's a guessing game in some respect. I think that's why you really got to focus on what you do and knowing your rules inside and out, knowing the details of what you're trying to get done, and that's what we've emphasized to our guys. And then certainly it comes down to adjustments. You're going to have to adjust week one. At some point within the game, you're going to have to adjust. And whoever can typically do that better will probably win the game.
Time for Wake Up Call presented by Verizon. These two teams that are playing on Friday wake up in Brazil to kick off their NFL season. It's LaFleur and the Packers at Sirianni and the Eagles. We know that week one, as Kyle would say, is sometimes a
liar, prolific.
liar.
I'll get into it this week.
But the week one matchup in this first NFL game played in South America, of course, there are some unknowns, as Coach just said. Can't quite have everything figured out about these teams. Peter, biggest unknown in this Eagles-Packers matchup?
Might not be as sexy as talking about different positions, but I look at that center spot for Philadelphia. For the last 2 decades, basically, it has been a guy named Jason Kelce, and he has been the leader of the offense, calling out a lot of protections and kind of setting the tone. He retired. Kelce's now on ESPN and is going to be doing a podcast for $6 trillion with his brother.
Yeah.
Insert Cam Jurgens, who is going to be the new starting center. Now, Jurgens is no rookie. He's played plenty of games and has great experience. He was an early draft pick a couple of years ago, and he's been mentored and tutored by Kelce, but that safety valve is gone.
Where's the Jurgens pod? Does he have the pod yet?
Jurgens and his brother are doing a podcast. They just sold it to Wondery.
Congratulations, boys.
That's it. iHeartRadio is on it.
$200 million?
That's it.
That's right.
Kelce's gone, though. I mean, he was the face of that offense, and he kind of set the tone. I really think it's going to be interesting to see if they still have that bite. And I know they're probably watching me and like, this is a Jeff Stoutland offensive line with Lane Johnson still and Mailata. Like, chill. No. Kelce is an important player in that team. He's no longer there. I'm curious to see how it looks.
Peter, very busy week for us. Wednesday night, we're going to be on NBC for the kickoff special show. I actually talked to Nick Sirianni for that show, the interview, and Cam Jurgens was one of the questions. The other question that I was a little nervous about asking him was, so how's it going with your quarterback? Because it's one thing to say, hey, the head coach doesn't have it. It's another thing to say, hey, your quarterback doesn't have it. It is a whole other can of worms if a media entity in Philadelphia is saying, coach and quarterback, I'm not sure about this relationship. These two guys had to answer questions about this all offseason. They say it's good. They're banging around on golf carts all the time in the offseason. It looks all well and good. But I'm really curious about what this looks like in Brazil, talking to each other on the sideline and the sideline body language game.
You know what I love, Akbar, and this stuff? I love, complicated travel logistics. Yeah. I love that stuff. Here's the deal, folks.
All right.
The Eagles on Eagles.com. The game is Friday evening. They're leaving Wednesday morning. It's a 9.5-hour flight. I love this stuff. In June, they sent equipment to Brazil on a boat, like a barge. That is a real thing. It's so complicated. They have to get visas. They have to get passports. I want to see how all that stuff shakes out. I love all kinds of snafus for travel. We'll see. South American football is real, guys.
First time.
First time. This ain't London, Peter.
No,
It's a glow up.
The barge headed to Brazil.
Yeah, there's stuff on a barge, like shoulder pads. I hope they show up, Cam Jurgens.
Mouthpiece.